Welcome to episode 3 of. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the
No,
thing.
the thing. Episode 3 of the thing. That's all I got for you.
Man, this sure is fantastic.
Is it?
Uh, yeah, so what have you been up to with games and whatnot? I've been seeing a little bit of Final Fantasy.
I've been. I'm trying to. All right, so I'm a Final Fantasy fan. God help me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't. I say that even though I definitely like more of the. I dislike more of them than I like, but whatever. Um, and the seventh game's getting its remake spread across three games. And I beat the first of those three remakes when it first came out, and I liked it a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then the second one of those three remakes came out, I think last year,
Right.
in 2024, and it was suddenly really open world. And as we may or may not come to find out as we do this, that's a big hurdle for me, and I have not yet beaten it. So I'm trying to shotgun the rest of it before the third one comes out in a couple of years.
Uh, yeah, I know you're not a huge fan of open worlds, so I respect you for committing to the bit.
I like Final Fantasy VII, and I like the remake, the first remake. So I'm like trying to lock the fuck in, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I really enjoy the parts of the game where it because like Final Fantasy VII remake, the first of that trilogy, went for there's open sections, but they're more like hubs, and most of the game is kind of chapter like linear chapters.
Right.
And it flowed so fucking well. I loved that, which is exactly my jam. And then half of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the second of these three, are just straight up open worlds with side quests and shit. And I struggle with those chapters really hard. And then there's like 4 or 5 chapters at a time where they go back to like linear story beats after story beat, and those are my favorite sections of the game, and those are really fucking good.
Right, right.
So like half of this game, I'm bored out of my mind. The other half, I'm locked the fuck in.
Yeah, I've never I've always kind of preferred open worlds, but I can never finish them. It's the kind of thing where like I enjoy them for a while and then I never finish a run.
I have the same problem with all of them, and it's exemplified perfectly with like Breath of the Wild, where the initial time playing the game, and in Breath of the Wild case, I spent probably 15, 20 hours just doing whatever, right? Exploring
Right.
everything, seeing what there is to see, and then I've seen it all, and then all the missions take you back to things you've already seen, and I'm like, I don't care anymore, and then I struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
With an open world, once you lose the like mystique to it, the like the beauty of the exploring, it loses a lot of appeal to me. One of the benefits a linear game has is by and large you don't repeat the exact same environment very often. You might get very similar, like here's a series of snow levels and here's a series of desert levels, but you very rarely go back through like the exact same environment.
Right. Yeah. You don't have that risk of like, oh, hey, I already found the shortcut for this place. I'm just gonna go there and like skip all of the interactions.
It's also just like there's your first time through a linear game, there's always something else to see. It might be something very similar to what you've already seen, but it's technically different. Meanwhile, like
Right.
playing GTA 5 or something like Assassin's Creed, and you collected all the viewpoints and the synchronization points or whatever the fuck they call them, and you've seen everything there is to see, and then the mission takes you back to that really cool area, but you've already found it in an emergent fashion on your own time. It's just less.
Yeah. Yeah. It's oh, what was it? I heard someone put it really well. It's like if at a certain point you just stop interacting with the open world at all and you just fast travel everywhere.
Yeah. Um, there are very few. There are some open world games that I think were better as open world games, but they're few and far between. Uh, Ghost of Tsushima would not be as breathtaking as it is if you couldn't just wander Tsushima
Oh, well,
openly.
yeah, definitely.
That game needed to be an open world. I don't even really. I. It's just fun to explore, and because of the way the mission structure works, you're not really gonna go to the cool places they want to show off as a story mission until it's that time, and then you can go back and explore it more openly. Like
Right,
a lot
yeah.
of the big areas in that are like locked behind like their wall of archers, or the game will just outright tell you like, hey, you're not gonna survive if you go up there, buddy.
See, my issue is that when I played it, I took that as a challenge.
Yeah, I can see that.
Uh,
Like 10 years ago, I would have too.
Yeah.
when I was, oh god, I'm gonna. When I was your age,
Yeah, yeah.
I would have taken that shit as a challenge too. And then like the Spider-Man games, I don't think like you can make a good Spider-Man game that's more linear level based, but the web swinging just kind of encourages it to be an open world.
Yeah, it kind of has to be open world with
And
an
and
exploration tool.
and I think they can at least mitigate the problem because web swinging through New York is always gonna have that like wow factor if it's done right.
Right, yeah.
You're always gonna be like, wow, I'm web swinging. This is so cool.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to play one of the Spider-Man games, but it's been on my to-do list for a while because that exploration looks so fun.
Then you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna realize how many story beats from that I just kind of plucked for the Marvel campaign we're playing.
Maybe I'll hold off then.
No, 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 no. You should absolutely, if you get the opportunity, you should at least play the first one. It is genuinely like a 10 out of 10. Phenomenal game, but
Yeah,
uh,
it's definitely on the list.
it definitely influenced the homebrew multiverse that I set up for weekend games for the one we'll be playing in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
um, that was a tangent. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VII. I'm trying to lock down and finish it. I've reached a point because the last couple episodes we did, it was like my big thing was like I'm tired, I work too much, I don't have time to play games, and I don't want the rest of my life to be that.
Right.
So I've just decided I'll just play games and be tired, and it'll just be what it'll be because I'd rather have the experience. Bitch, I'd rather have the experience of playing the game than I would not playing games and working myself until I die.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of the same way with the last couple of days over this last week. I just moved into my apartment and I've been doing so much shit. I've been tired every single day. It's like, man, I'll be damned if I miss this Battlefield 6 beta.
My
I
sorry, go ahead.
I don't give a damn that I just did leg day for 5 fucking hours. I am going to play this beta.
My goal has been try to sneak in an hour at least a day, and on my days off, two. And I've
Uh,
been doing pretty good. I think today I just only played about an hour now before we did this, but it was I don't know sometime I think Monday maybe. I straight up played like 6 hours of Final Fantasy, so worked out for me.
nice.
uh,
Yeah, as I like kind of just mentioned, I've been playing a lot of the Battlefield 6 betas.
I wanted to play that, but I don't want to play it on console, and I don't have a rig good enough to play it, so it's just not worth it.
That's fair. It's actually so fun. I've been playing it with a couple of friends. And I'll just be transparent. I haven't played any of the Battlefield 6s or like Battlefield 6s, any of the Battlefield games since 2. Like I played Battlefield 2 with my dad back when I was in like elementary school, and that was the last time I played a Battlefield game. Uh,
Battlefield 2.
it's one that I can't find it fucking anywhere for some reason.
Yeah, probably not. That came out in
Yeah, it was
2005. Jesus.
that was the one and only game I played before Battlefield 6, but damn, if Battlefield 6 isn't fun. It's like everything I've been looking for in shooter games. I got a little bit of it with BattleBit back when I played that. Uh, but Battlefield 6 just feels like a really well-polished game and shockingly few glitches for a Battlefield launch.
In high school, uh, with dinosaurs, me and my high school buddies played 3 and 4 a lot. I think 3 was already pretty old by the time we started playing it, but 4 was pretty new, and we played a shit ton of that. And
Uh,
I thought 3 was better, but 4 was it's like what we all played. At a certain point, you get outvoted, and you just like, all right, well, I'm gonna play something with these
right,
guys. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then everything between there was pretty. I liked. I don't remember what it was called. There's a World War II battlefield game that came out between
I think that was
4.
5.
Was it 5?
I think so.
I don't know if I liked that game, but it was fun.
Right.
Uh, and then I think everything else surrounding that was pretty much dog shit. So,
Yeah, no, 2042 was a hot mess.
like Hardline was garbage. 5 wasn't good. 1 wasn't good. Like you know. So I am looking forward to that coming back to what it's supposed to be. Maybe by the time it actually comes out, I can be able to play it.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. I've been playing it. I yeah, I really have no notes. My only complaints is the people playing it, because with the state of Call of Duty right now, a lot of Call of Duty
Yeah,
people
you
are
got the
migrating over to
you
Battlefield.
got the Twitch aimers and shit.
Well, you got the Twitch aimers, you got the people like hopping around like they're on amphetamines. You got the medics who stand on top of you and don't bother picking you up.
Dude, get me in that game. I'm running out there with the paddles and I'm dragging your ass back.
Nah, dude, I've been playing medic like almost exclusively, and my ass is out there like Desmond Doss. Like, not a single one of you fuckers is dying. Of course, there's also another side effect of the COD players is that them have an ounce of patience. So as soon as they're down, you better believe they're pressing that force respawn button, no matter if there's a medic like 5 feet of them.
Say goodbye to your tickets, buddy.
Yeah, for real.
I've been forcing our friend M to, well, forcing. She's mostly been forcing me to play through Halo with her.
What game are you guys on now?
So we're playing it in the most batshit order possible, which is to say,
Okay.
I had just finished Halo 1 before her and I started playing these, and I didn't want to replay it. So I said pick 2 or 3, and we'll start there. And she picked 3. So we're
Okay.
so we started at 3, and then I said, well, I want to play Halo 2. So next we're gonna play Halo 2 whenever she has access to her computer again. Um, and then we'll go back and play Halo 1 probably.
You're working backwards in the timeline. What the hell
I,
is this?
and then just to keep the bit going, I think I'll go to Reach and go to the opposite end of the timeline from 3. And then we'll do
Uh-huh.
ODST, and then we'll do 4.
That might be the most batshit order I've ever heard of. What the hell?
It's absolutely absurd. I wouldn't do it if I if she hadn't played those games already. I would not have done it in that order. But it is it's an
One of these
interesting
days,
perspective.
one of these days, I'm gonna get you to play Cursed Halo with me.
I'll play Cursed Halo with you. Hell yeah, it's on the Steam Workshop and
It's
everything. We could just lay that shit down,
Yeah,
dude.
you can just lay that shit down. It's. Have you played it before?
I played the first version. Did not play that like remastered version he made where he changed some
The
things.
remastered version is wild. I played through it. I did a run with a buddy. He said, "Hey, I'll give you $50 if you run through this with me." So obviously, I went along with that.
Yeah,
And
give me
we
money.
we we ran through. Oh God, we did a lasso run
Ugh.
of Cursed Halo, and it was one of the most awful, painful experiences of my entire
Yeah,
life.
we can just play like heroic or something, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to do that again.
You just name a day. We'll play Cursed Halo. That's fine. Uh,
Hell yeah.
you say make me like I won't just say yes. Like yeah, I'll just play whatever. I don't give a shit. You guys got me to play Destiny for a whole hour and a half.
Ugh, yeah, that was
What a bad
ugh,
game.
for real. It was. Well, damn, Buddy knows how to make a shooter, and damn, that universe is cool. Damn, I wish it was any other dev.
Damn, they don't know how to make an MMO.
True.
So that's been
Yeah.
fun. Respect to M.
How about?
She's grossly incompetent at first-person shooters, so it's very funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you sitting in on that when her and I were playing Halo 3, or was it just her friend?
I was there for one of them.
Uh,
I was there for one of those
I
sessions.
had to tell her to get out of the driver's seat and let me drive, and it was the most like I've never felt more like toxically masculine in my life than when I was like, you need to get out of the, let me drive.
I was gonna say there was a sexist joke in there somewhere.
It's in there somewhere. I Yeah, it's not the way I try to be, but in that moment, I was like, you need to get out of the driver's seat.
You are going to kill us both.
Stop. Also, hi, Eb. I know you're watching this.
Yeah, you're
You're probably at work
not
right
good at
now.
computer games probably.
Got him.
Uh, One game that I've been playing a lot of with some folks. I think I played it with you at one point. Peak.
Oh, we played Peak once. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Peak's
yeah,
crazy. That was too. You've met my friends Harold and Joe, I think. Yeah, you have.
yeah,
We
yeah.
played Marvel together. Those guys are crazy about it, so I've been playing a lot of that.
Yeah, I've been playing a good bit of Peak as well.
Uh,
Have you done the most recent the Mesa update?
we climbed past the Mesa on the 15th, so like a couple days ago.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Uh,
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of it. It's really fun.
the Mesa is
I've
hysterical because we got to we got past the Mesa and we were basically throwing the entire time. Like we didn't duck in the shade, we just booked it across and climbed up. And at one point I like made a risky climb, knew I wasn't gonna make it, said, "All right, see you in hell, fellas," and just let myself drop.
yeah, I've been having I think the thing that I love about the Mesa update is like it's probably the most dynamic biome and one of the more punishing ones because like damn, you sure can't go like it is very difficult to cross that uh half of the time.
I like that it's probably got the most unique obstacles
Yeah.
compared to anything
Yeah.
like the Arctic has the tundra has it's cold and whatever, and the first one the jungle has the rain and the vines and that's kind of whatever. But then you get like the ant lions and the cactuses which are crazy and the fucking scorpions and Scoutmaster
The
Kevin can still
dynamite.
take your ass down. It's dynamite, yeah.
uh, Yeah, I have you gone to the bottom of the ravine ever?
No,
Like intentionally?
no.
I forget which day it was that we went down there, but me and some buddies were like, "Hey, we've been getting across this. What's in it? Like, let's go check that out." Uh, and there was just like a veritable ocean of those like throwable cactuses down there.
Oh,
It was a great way to get that achievement, but damn, that kind of sucked.
I've had two goals recently.
Uh,
I guess I've had three goals technically. Uh, I still haven't gotten Bing Bong up to the top because I always fucking die.
right.
I still need to get to the top uh without using like packaged food items or whatever.
Uh,
Uh, and I still need to get to the top without losing consciousness. Technically, I don't have the badge for reaching the peak myself because I always die in the caldera, but
the
whatever.
caldera is kind of brutal to be fair. Yeah, I the one that I got most recently that I admit we did kind of just cheese. We just kind of waited around on the first island. Is the cannibalism badge?
Yeah, I don't have that one either.
Yeah, we just kind of like waited around on the first island for like, or on the first peak for like half an hour, and then just ate each other.
There's a bunch of these I don't even have. I'm looking at the achievement list right now. Oh, I mean, is there
Uh,
not an achievement for not eating packaged food? Am I just dumb?
no, there is. It's the naturalist badge.
Okay.
Uh, the one that I need to get that I guess is kind of telling is I still need to get the participation badge, the one where a friend escapes the island without you.
Yeah, I have that one.
I, I still haven't gotten that one. I've summited like 4 times and I've been there every single time.
I also don't have the one where you have a one-on-one with Scoutmaster Kevin or whatever the fuck his name actually is.
Oh really?
I haven't even, I've never seen him. I've only seen him by clipping out of bounds in the airport.
So you can run into him either by using the little bugle thing, where you can find like the Scoutmaster's bugle or whatever, and he'll come beat your ass.
You mean the
Or
one in the Quaid?
no. There's a Scoutmaster bugle you can get out of like the cursed chest
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And you blow into that, and Scoutmaster Kevin will come beat your ass.
Okay.
You can also, if you climb too far ahead of everybody else, then he'll come and get you.
That's what I knew, but I'm never the first one up. All right.
Yeah, man, I still need to get the speed climber badge. I don't know how I'd do it, but
Cannons.
true.
Cannons and ropes, probably.
Oh, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm just reading through some of the achievements.
Yeah.
The leave no trace badge is wild.
Escape down without placing anything on the mountain. No ropes, no pitons, I guess.
No ropes, no python, no cannons. That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have I been playing recently?
Escape the island in a solo expedition? I'll never.
Mage Arena. Oh my god, dude, that game is so fun. Have you heard about that one?
Is that the voice command
Yep,
PvP
the
wizard
voice
game?
commands. Yep. Dude, that game is so fun.
Thunderbolt,
I've
Thunderbolt,
been.
Thunderbolt.
I think the most fun I've been able to have with it is I got it for myself and like a couple other friends, and we had two teams of three. It's so fun when it's just your buddies. Like I think my favorite thing is that it got to a point where neither of us could like take the other person's base, and so we just decided to have a duel in the middle and then call it there. But yeah, that game is fantastic. Some of the mods are hysterical. I think perhaps my favorite mod is hang on, I gotta find it again. It was oh, here it is. It's the tungsten ball sack mod.
Huh?
Have you not seen that meme? It's
No.
I cast tungsten ball sack.
No.
Yeah, no, it makes it so that your character falls over, takes fall damage, and then is slowed for like 30 seconds.
Oh. All right.
It's hysterical. But yeah, no, fun game, worth the price, would recommend. Get fucked if you have an accent, I guess.
I in perpetuity I'm playing Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I haven't played that in a little bit. How's the updates and stuff? How are those going?
My ass, it hurts. Please help.
I see.
They heard you. Oh, you made this game too easy. They took that shit personally.
I see.
They took that shit to heart, dude.
I take it that the most recent additions have been punishing.
It's been rough. It's what I want, but it's been rough. I've gotten complacent with how easy Wilds is, and then they're like, you remember Mugu, and then I die.
I see. Yeah, I've been meaning to get back into Monster Hunter. It's more just an issue of like I keep installing it and then wanting to play something else and having to uninstall it because it takes up a lot of fucking storage space.
Buy like an external SDD for it at this point, or SSD for it at this point.
Yeah, probably should get another drive anyway.
Just get like a 1 terabyte, put like a couple of big games on it, and then save your main drive for a bunch of smaller shit.
Yeah, I mean, I still I still need to take uh my OS off of my hard drive. It's still on like an actual physical hard drive. It takes like 10 minutes to boot up properly. It's awful.
Um, that's that's. Oh, I've been playing Pokemon.
I have been seeing that.
I'm sitting down with my buddy Harold, and he's picking my team for me as we go. Uh, we started with Soul Silver, which I've played before, so I randomized it, and then we picked based on that. And then starting from Pokemon Black, which I hadn't played, and everything past that point, spare a couple of exceptions, I'm playing them blind. He's watching them, and he's picking my team for me based entirely on things neither one of us has used in any game.
That sounds interesting. How's that been going?
So far so good. Pokemon Black's really fun. It turns out. I don't know why I never got into it at the time. I mean, I do know because they front load you with a bunch of text, and I was in high school, so I didn't give a shit. But you know, whatever. Um, it's really fun. It's the music in that game is fucking crazy good. There's this cool mechanic where you can go and talk to certain NPCs in towns, and they'll add instrumentation that wasn't in the track originally.
That's sick.
So like you hear the music and you go talk to a guy. He's like, "Oh, you want to hear my drums?" And you say yes, and then suddenly drums get added to the instrumentation, and you're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? This is cool." It's really simple now that I think about it, but that's cool as fuck.
No, that's still cool as hell. I love adaptive music like that.
My
Uh,
team in Pokemon Black is so far a Snivy, a grass snake, a I don't remember what the Pokemon's actual name is. It's this fucking electric zebra that's new to that generation.
uh,
Blitzel, maybe? And then this fucking weird like Muppet that kicks things called I think Sock.
Sock.
Yeah, SAWK, I think.
Wild.
So yeah, I had Brandon nickname that one for me, and he named it Sockenheim.
Incredible.
It's peak Pokemon so far. I'm enjoying it a lot. There's a little bit more plot than your average Pokemon game, which is really nice and refreshing. Because
It's more than just go catch the Pokemon.
it's more than like go catch the Pokemon. Here's a bad guy. They're generically evil, and you're just like, oh, okay. In this one, the bad guys at least have motivations, and there's distinct characters out the bat on the villain side. You don't just find out who the leaders are like 2/3 of the game. It's not like a lot more complex, but it's just a little bit ramped up. The villains are PETA, which is crazy.
That's interesting.
They're like, you shouldn't be capturing Pokemon, but so we're gonna be hypocritical and capture Pokemon, and you're like, oh, it's just PETA. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Abiotic Factor. Or I played a lot of Abiotic Factor earlier in the month because they got their 1.0 release not long ago.
Oh,
Uh,
it's finally 1.0. Nice.
yeah, it's finally fully out. Dude, it's so fun. The new stuff they added is so good. Uh, I think I haven't finished it yet. I got to the final area with a buddy, and then we got distracted by Battlefield 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh, but yeah, no, it's really fun. They made a bunch of great changes just to like the whole flow of the game.
Okay.
Uh, and the new stuff they added gets fucking wacky. I don't want to say too much because it's kind of a fresh game. I don't want to spoil it, but like some of the content you get later on is like actually nothing like I was expecting.
Um, I think that's all I've got in the video game sphere, but I do have other things I've seen and played in other respects to talk about.
Yeah, pop off.
Uh, Tabletop wise, I don't remember if I had started playing the Rogue Trader Genesis fan game with my one of my D&D groups or one of my tabletop groups when we last did this. But we have since, at least, and that system is fucking weird.
Yup.
I don't know how familiar you are with Genesis.
Vaguely.
But the dice weird me the fuck out. There's a 50% chance I talked about this last time, but
I think you might have mentioned it. Yeah,
I'm,
but go ahead.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
talk about it some more because I'm more familiar with it now. We played a lot more since then.
Uh huh.
Um, it's super weird. It's like this dice pool system, and it freaks me out a little bit. And if I had to roll it physically, I think my OCD would kill me. Um, I've managed to figure out what all the dice actually mean now. So like your D20s, there's a positive and a negative D20, and then there's a positive and a negative 10, and a positive and a negative 6, right?
Uh huh.
Uh, so like blue D6s, green D10s, and yellow D20s are positive, and then black D6, purple D10, and red D20 are negative. And each there's three symbols, positive and negative, like success, failure, advantage, and threat, and then triumph and despair. And it's basically like pass, fail, like a bonus and a negative, and then like a crit success and a crit fail.
Right.
Uh, but because you can get I'm rolling like for one of my chief skills, I get like two of the gold, two of the D20, it's positive D20s. Like I get three of the positive D10s and three of the positive D6s.
Uh huh.
Uh, and then my DM tells me what the difficulty is. So he might say it's a difficulty 3, and then he'll tell me two purples, one red. So like, two, you know, of the three difficulties, two of them are the negative D10s, and one of them is the negative D20.
Uh huh.
So I could get. Let me just do a sample roll here. I got one advantage, three success, one triumph. So that's multiple layers of success right there. That he gets to parse through and tell me what that means, which is absurd to me.
Yeah.
But it could also be like, let's see if I can get an example here. Uh, okay, I got two advantages, four successes, and a despair. So how do you mix four successes with one critical failure? I don't know. I also got two fucking bonus successes in there. What the fuck? Or two advantages in there. So I don't know what you make out of that. I could never run this.
That's wild.
Like it weirds me out, man. Like I don't know why. As soon as the game starts trying to add layers of like context to the successes, it fucks me up. Like I could do that just fine on my own.
Right, yeah.
So I'm glad I'm not DMing that. I just roll the dice, read the results, and let him tell me what happens. I don't have to worry
Man, I
about it.
thought Wrath and Glory was complicated. That's ridiculous.
One of the buddies in that game rolls that shit physically, at least one, maybe more. Uh, I don't know. There's like a set of unique dice just for the system, like unique printed dice. And then there's also a conversion chart for converting all the respective numbers on your dice pool to the symbols, and so it turns into like you convert one through three to one set, and 3 to 4 to another or whatever, or 4 to 6 to or whatever. And then you take those symbols and convert them to what they mean. What the fuck?
What the hell?
No, I'm just gonna use your fucking free. Leave me alone. I hate really digitally, but I'm not doing all that. It's too much.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's ridiculous.
Too goddamn much. But the game itself is pretty fun. The Genesis as a baseline system makes sense. It's just the way it rolls. I don't like care for that much. Making the characters is easy. The role play is good. So that game's fun. But like, fuck.
Yeah,
If I didn't have this digital dice roller, I would just make someone else roll for me. Cause I can't.
you'd be so fair for that.
I,
That's
I I
ridiculous.
can't I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, my only experience with those kind of systems is Wrath and Glory, but even that is like a toned down version of what you're talking about there.
Fuck you, Brandon, for making me play this game. And then obviously we're playing Marvel in our game. But
uh,
that's an
yeah,
easy
the Marvel Multiverse one.
that's an easy system.
True.
System for babies.
Damn if I don't love the way it runs though.
Yeah, it's great because the game just says, yeah, I don't know, let the guy in charge figure it out, and then I'm like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I think my only real gripe with it is that there's not a whole lot of opportunity for like steady character progression.
Yeah, though there is an optional rule set for that I didn't know about.
Oh, is there?
Uh, it opted not to use it anyways.
Fair enough.
I can pretty much do that myself, and I have plans to do that myself. But as it's built, yeah, you're meant to make a character, and they're already kind of at their apex, I guess.
Yeah, the way I looked at it is it feels like when you're making your character, it's like this is the character unless you like do something really important or your DM is generous. This is just kind of what you're stuck with.
But I also don't think they built it with campaigns like the one I'm running in mind, so I'm gonna do my own thing to make sure there's variety and stuff.
Yeah,
I really think they had this in mind for like one shots or a couple
yeah,
short
I was
sessions.
gonna say it definitely sounds like it feels more like it was designed for like short bursts or like campaigns that it may be like oh, what are those called? The campaigns where it's like a bunch of different people all doing it at once.
Yeah, like a West March kind of deal.
West March, that's the word. Yeah, yeah.
But I'm a fool, so I'm gonna just take this system that's not built for something and use it for what I want to use it for.
Pop off. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a damn fun campaign.
Take it, take it. We've only just started anyways. You guys need to get some shit. Trust.
Hell yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean it's cool, and yeah, I guess this optional rule system is kind of built with the idea of like building a character from like rank one and watching them grow as a hero.
Right.
But I have the same philosophy in most games we play, which is if I'm starting at the absolute lowest tier level, then I don't want to play the game. So start me at like level 3, where I get some of my cool stuff.
Right.
Or
Yeah, now starting at level 1 it can work, but it's rare.
it's usually more trouble than I find it to be worth. It's just kind of a slog, makes the first several sessions kind of boring. Start me at level 3, or in
Yeah.
Marvel's case, make me rank 4.
Yeah, rank 4 it feels like that's where you start to be less of like the neighborhood vigilante and more of like an actual hero.
Yeah, it seems to hit this middle ground where I can pitch you guys about just about anything and it makes sense. So like
Yeah, I guess that's
there's some stuff where you're gonna completely swamp what you're fighting, but buffing some character sheets because they wildly fucked the power scaling in my opinion. It's
yeah. It wasn't oh, what was his name? Wasn't fucking I almost said Dante. That's not the character.
Darwin.
Darwin. That's the one.
He's
Isn't
like
he
he's like
like
a rank
tier
3 or
3?
something. And
Yeah,
it's like this
that's
man,
insane.
that's absurd. That's crazy. Anyway, I artificially boosted his character sheet.
As you should. That is not rank 3. Can confirm. He fucking beat our ass. I guess that segues very cleanly into the other thing, or like the stuff we're going to be talking about.
True.
Uh,
Uh, yeah.
you want to open that one up? Seems like you've got some pretty hefty opinions on things.
Oh, good. We want to start with the big one then.
Go for it.
All right. Uh, in the absolute last minute preparation we did, trust, where we asked everybody what we should talk about, one of the things we got suggested was like our favorite and least favorite kind of systems and mechanics that we like and don't like. Those two things are specified kind of separately, so I think it's gonna kind of meld together in one conversation. But uh,
Sure. Yeah, you want to talk
I,
about systems first?
yeah, I think systems are gonna develop into what mechanics I don't like anyways. So and I know what they're baiting for. I know exactly what answer they're baiting for.
That's the same one I'm baiting for. So pop off.
Least favorite systems. I don't know if it's actually my least favorite, but I really don't like the Dungeons and Dragons Fifth Edition. So there you have it.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. I say that as someone who's played it for. I played it for like damn near 10 years. Because it's about
And
the only thing you can get most people to play.
right, right, yeah. Is there any like a particular reason why, or is it just like in general?
It drags a lot. It's very. It simplifies everything. Um, to make it more accessible, but it doesn't actually speed things up to coincide with how much more simple they are. So you just end up in a situation where, like combat wise specifically, uh, your combat's gonna take 3 times as long as it really needs to because you're still building around long drawn out move sets and stuff, and it's like I just I'm I'm gonna cast the same 3 spells.
Yeah,
It's not the combat's just gonna devolve into like, okay, I'm playing a warlock, so Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast,
Blast.
Eldritch Blast. You want to do anything else? Not really. Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast. There it is. And it's not that bad with every class, but most classes have like 2 to 3 things you're gonna see between most of them. If you're playing a rogue, you're just gonna go and flank somebody and fish for your sneak attacks, right? Like that's all it's gonna. If you're playing a ranger, you're gonna tear your character sheet up and make a different character.
True.
Um, you're playing a druid, you're probably just gonna abuse like booming blade or something like that. Wizards are probably
Yeah,
just
there's
gonna hit fireball after a certain point, like
Fireball.
fireball counterspell, fireball counterspell. I'm out of spell slots. I'm gonna die now. That's it.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a drag because everyone does the same 3 things, but it takes 45 minutes to get through combat, and halfway through it you get bored and you go play Spider-Man.
Speaking from experience.
Speaking of
Uh,
experience.
yeah, I like five. So personally, I'm kind of indifferent to 5e. I like how modular it is, which I guess is very telling. I like it when you can turn it into something else. Um,
Yeah.
I do think so for me personally, because I've taught a lot of people how to do tabletop stuff. It's a fantastic teaching tool because it is so simple, and while they're just starting out, they don't have that kind of like, oh well, this is just the way to do it, so I'm gonna just do that. Um, but I do agree that once you reach a certain level of like, okay, I've played like a couple of games with this system, you kind of have to transition to something else because it's just the same damn thing over and over.
It does not have the longevity that people have attached to it, but everyone's so scared to learn a system that's more complicated that it's like you're just gonna stick with the same game and make the same characters, and I want to kill myself. That's it. Like it is a good teaching tool. It's not even a bad system. It just is very limited in what it can do out of the box. And after a certain point, I just don't want to do it anymore. And that's why I've done everything but play 5e in this fucking server.
Yeah, yeah. Um, 5.5, from what I've seen, is pretty well put together. Uh, I've only played a little bit of it, but what I have played was pretty good.
I got a little lucky in that my absolute peak of being tired of 5e has coalesced at the same time as Wizards publicly shitting the bed in about every respect, and I don't have to pretend to care anymore.
Yeah.
So I can just say, "Oh, sorry, I don't like Wizards of the Coast, and I'm not playing 5e anymore." I wash my hands of it entirely. But we're also at an age where a lot of really suitable other options are easily available. I managed to wrangle this entire group to play Pathfinder, and it took me fucking forever to convince anybody else to do that because it seems scary until you play it, and then you're just like, oh, I just gotta read.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, oh, it's not that bad if you open your eyes and read, which I know is a lot for people, but like, you picked this hobby. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, me when the game that has a big book involves a lot of reading.
Which is crazy because I was like, you won't even have to read that much because here's a character builder. It'll help you do the hard work.
Yeah, yeah. I
We also just had Hunter there, and he's got like a fucking encyclopedia for that book in his head. So
yeah, no, that man is a wizard, you might say.
he's
Uh,
he reads a book and he gains its power. That's for goddamn sure.
that is for damn sure.
Every time we run a
Uh,
game, a new one, I'm just gonna give him the book, tell him to read it, and I'm gonna piece it together from that.
yeah, no, that's probably the best way to do it. Pathfinder, I'm kind of torn on Pathfinder because on the one hand, it is, well, at least first edition is very crunchy. Like there's a lot of stuff you got to read. It's got like whole ass spreadsheets with beat lists on it, and I've already talked about how my feelings on spreadsheets in tabletop games. Uh,
It's only that bad if you let it be that bad though. I've run Pathfinder first edition is what I'm more comfortable running. Running second edition for you guys, I needed to rely on Hunter to help me figure out the rules. So I didn't know how the half that shit worked. It's a lot different. First edition could be a spreadsheet bad game if you want it to be, but it's definitely not like it has to be that way. I've run it for people who had never played a tabletop game before, and it went fine.
yeah, yeah, and to be fair, it might have been the people I was playing with because the group I played first edition with was very heavy on like combat and rules and shit,
Yeah,
which is a whole other conversation. Uh,
we'll get to it.
but I don't mind it. It's a fun system. I like how customizable and like some of the cool shit you can do with it. But it's for someone like me who focuses mostly on like the character and roleplay side of it. It's like, man, this is a lot.
It is a lot, but I think that's also what makes it good. Its best point is also its worst point.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
It directly alleviates my biggest problem with 5e, which is if nothing else, combat is complex, and dynamic, because you
Yeah,
really don't know what
it
anyone
takes
else is gonna do.
yeah, it takes a long time because there's a lot to do. It doesn't take a long time because it's fucking the
Drawn
same
out,
thing over
yeah.
and over.
At least like you're always engaged and thinking about what's next. In fifth edition, it's always just like, okay, he's gonna do one of two things, and I'm gonna respond one of two ways.
Yep.
And 90% of that's me
Yeah.
just saying counterspell.
Counterspell. Yeah. Uh, I think my personal least favorite system is, I mean, it's probably first edition, and it's not because it's worse. I don't really dislike any particular system. It's just my least favorite that I've played.
Which is
Pathfinder first.
okay.
Um, I've had good experiences in all of them. I think they all have strong points. It's just that first edition, in my opinion, has the least strong points.
I
Um,
I also do want to say that if I actually had to pick an absolute least favorite, it's definitely not fifth edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Like I have a lot of
oh,
things I like way worse than that. I just knew that they wanted me to say fifth edition and say I don't like it
yeah,
publicly,
yeah.
so I'm throwing that out there. Other front runners for my least favorite is any other version of Dungeons and Dragons that isn't 3.5. Fuck you, AD&D. Fuck you, second edition. Fuck you, fourth
Dude,
edition.
holy shit, AD&D, man. I played that once.
Misery.
I mean, it was pretty good for me because I rolled incredibly well. Uh, had a character with like almost close to max in every stat, but like fucking hell, man.
Miserable system. Absolutely miserable. I can't believe this hobby still exists.
Yeah, if that's what they were working with for a while, man.
It does have it does have my absolute favorite spell in the entire franchise though.
Oh, what's that?
Sticks to snakes.
I'm unfamiliar.
It takes a stick and it turns it into a snake.
What?
And
I probably should have guessed. I probably should have guessed that,
I
but like,
only know it exists because it's in a Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's Mystaria fucking beat 'em up game that was in the arcades.
uh-huh.
And the wizard, or I think they call it the elf. Uh, cast sticks to all the time is whatever moves. It's fucking hysterical.
That's ridiculous.
Uh, I haven't even done enough recursive research to know if it's actually a spell or just something they made up for the game, but it's funny as fuck.
I played a paladin, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, no. AD&D sucks ass. Actually, that might be my least favorite now I think about it.
It's definitely up there. Just it's how archaic it is. Fourth edition stands out in my heart as just being miserable in a completely different way. They wanted to do the 5e thing, but did it in a completely wrong way, so it's just bad. That whole like mob mechanic sucks. Like fourth edition
Yeah,
is just bad. Sorry, Em.
I I've played a single one shot of fourth edition and did not like it.
Not good. Um,
Uh,
Thankfully, I've had mostly positive experiences with new games I've played. So, uh, yeah.
yeah, I'm just kind of trying to mentally go over what systems I've played. I think, honestly, my probably one of my favorite systems, just because I like a good mix of like gritty and not uh annoying. Um, I think one of actually no, my favorite system is definitely Call of Cthulhu. Specifically
Yeah.
Pulp Cthulhu. Uh, that there's a reason that I've designed my entire like homebrew world around that rule set.
I like
It
I like that a lot too. I like how flexible it is. I can use it for damn near anything.
Yeah, no, it's really flexible. I mean, hell, like the world that I designed for it is a fucking Magitech world. Like,
It's because it's on a base level based around so many normal things. Like most of 90% of the skills in that game are based on just completely normal shit. So I can just translate it to damn near anything.
exactly, yeah.
So it's really flexible and like the weird things can just be reflavored so easily and work beat for beat damn near the same.
Yeah, yeah. Any kind of like, I mean, really, you don't even need to have the weird shit. It could just be like, oh, do you want to play like a mob? Get like you're playing like you're in a mob in the like 1910s. That's the system. You can do it.
Yeah, no, it's built for that too. It's got ranged combat rules already. It's got melee combat rules that are separated and work differently. It's got driving mechanics. It could literally be squeezed to fit damn near anything. I do. I'm gonna say the phrase, and this soundbite's gonna follow me for the rest of my life. Man, I love cock.
Yep.
It,
I'm not gonna say that because I don't want that one to follow me around. But
what am I gonna do? Hold
I
it against me? I don't care. I'll scream it from the rooftops. Yeah, I love cock.
uh, yeah, I'm a big fan of really any like D100 system. It's one of the reasons I love that Halo system so
Yeah,
much.
Halo's one I'm gonna bring up too. I think that system, once we figured out properly how it worked, which you missed a lot of the initial like struggling with the rules, because you didn't come in until a little later into that campaign, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, about halfway through it. Not
Uh,
halfway, like
the
a
a
quarter
third,
of the way in.
yeah, not very far. We hadn't even really got to the main plot beats yet, so.
Yeah, only a planet blowing up.
Psh, whatever. Um, but after that, that system was very good, and it captured Halo very well for a
Yeah,
for a
I was
homemade system that is based on the most generic like D100 baseline system possible.
Yeah, I really like just like D100 systems in general. I feel like there's a
Yeah.
lot more room for leeway when it comes to DM calls.
Yep.
Um,
I
and it
think
also just like it makes criticals so much more impactful.
I think anything like that D100, D10 spectrum, because they're basically the same systems, just
Right.
with like one's got beefier numbers, but at the end of the day, like your D10 systems and your D100 systems are mostly working on the same logic, just on like condensed scales. And
Right. Yeah.
they're all really good. The World of Darkness stuff works on D10s, and I love the way their pass system works. It's different than like the other stuff we're talking about, because in Darkness, half half your roll is a success, half failure, and then there's modifiers to that as opposed to like a percentage. But the idea is still pretty functionally similar. Where you make a dice pool and you roll it, you're shooting for a certain goal. Hunter the Reckoning is another one that I use as a baseline for a lot of like homebrewing stuff because it's a system about you have mostly normal skills and you have guns and melee weapons and you just kind of do normal people stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've never played any of the World of Darkness systems actually. I've been meaning to, but I just haven't had the
I
chance.
know Brandon's probably gonna run Vampire at some point, and I'll probably run Hunter at some point.
I
So
mean, you're running for Hunter right now.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. Um, I'm also a big fan of running Cyberpunk Red. I like that one a lot.
I again, like a lot of the other ones, I've played a single one shot of Cyberpunk Red, loved it, and then never played it again.
It's got maybe my actually favorite combat in as my favorite combat as combat because there's like combat in a gameplay sense and there's combat that is used to justify storytelling, which is what I usually do.
Uh huh.
But I think Cyberpunk Red has maybe my favorite combat as a gameplay mechanic. I think the quick time to kill, the low health, and the heavy damage makes for maybe the most suspenseful combat I've personally played or personally ran for in a tabletop game, even considering like Call of Cthulhu, where you're kind of not meant to even combat, and if you're in it, there's a problem.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think that's kind of why Cyberpunk stands above that. You're meant to get combat's integral to how that system works. You're gonna get into fights, but they're quick, snappy, and dangerous, and it's very
yeah,
suspenseful.
yeah. Yeah, I remember the one combat I did do. I was playing a big brawler character, uh, uh, and the one combat I did, I was like, okay. My only experience with games up to that point had been 5e. It's like, all right, I got this. I'm going in, and almost immediately got like 2/3 of my health bar chunked by like 2 bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a really fun game. I just haven't had the chance to play more of it.
Uh, and then based on all of these one shots I've played and run, I'm really going to enjoy Daggerheart when I finally get to run a game of that. I think
I know like almost nothing about it. I'll be honest.
it's it's very cool. It's very like role play story kind of go with the flow. There's not even like a turn order so much as the players keep attacking until somebody finally fails, basically, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Uh, or the DM expends like a resource that they have to force it to be their turn. Uh, and so you guys just basically queue attacks. Like you do one thing and someone else would do something. You'd both roll it, and those things would happen. And then finally, someone would roll, and they'd roll with fear, which is like even if you succeed, you still end the turn order, and it becomes my turn as the DM
Uh huh.
because you roll 2d12s. One's like your hope, and one's your fear, and you're trying to have the hope have the higher number so that you can regain resources and keep your turns going. And if you roll a fear, then you don't regain resources, and I get to attack.
Right. Okay.
So it's all
Gotcha. That
it's
does
all
sound
it's all about kind of free flow, role play focused storytelling and combat. And I've made some absolutely cracked bullshit in this system that on its surface seems very simple, and it's simple, but it's definitely got depth to it. It's just not crunchy, I guess.
gotcha.
There are
Gotcha.
there are layers to the effects, and they can combine with other things to make interesting builds while still being fairly simple. to understand.
So you can engage with it, and not have to read about like 4 spreadsheets.
Most everything is a paragraph, or maybe I think I've seen one ability that had more than one paragraph of text related to it.
That does sound pretty good.
It's sweet. I made this fucking I don't remember what the class is called, but it's basically a sorcerer. It might be called sorcerer, but I didn't want to be just a sorcerer, so I made a furbolg sorcerer who punches things instead of casting magic. So all my magic in lore just channeled through my fists, and I punched an airship out of the sky.
That's fire.
It was so fucking cool. And I don't remember the exact build because it was in the playtest. The skills don't work one for one anymore. But I could expend my hope to like proc a thing and then add a d20 to my damage roll or something like that, and then I could take a stress, which is like I choose to take a stress. It gives me disadvantages on certain things, but I can refill my hope, and I did it again. I just kept procking
Do it
this,
again.
and I just kept. But I was a furbolg, so I could also regain stress very easily. So it was just this endless cycle of like, okay, I'm gonna take away stress, I'm gonna regain stress, I'm gonna spend all my hope, I'm gonna do it again. And
That's
that's how I played a sorcerer who didn't have any reason to be punching people, but it sure did punch motherfuckers.
hell yeah.
Uh,
That sounds very similar to a character I played in a 5e Gestalt game ages ago. He wasn't a sorcerer, he just punched shit. But
well,
that does sound awesome.
that was my test to see like, okay, what can I? Let me put this to its limits, right? See what shit I can do. Because it's like I could just make a sorcerer and do exactly what the game recommends and understand what it expects from me, but can I bend it to my will? And I sure did. And
That
then
sounds
we
fantastic.
did another one shot where I made where I took a character that I had made for a playtest before and then changed them when the game had come out properly because some of their old stuff didn't work, and I could basically like go invisible in shadows and then travel between different shadows.
All right. I've seen that before.
I've seen this one before. Not the same guy. But my shtick was, and they had introduced wheelchairs as a weapon, and I had asked the DM like, "Hey, can I use the wheelchair, but like not like as a wheelchair? Can I like pick it up and just?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Cool, it's a steel chair now." I made a wrestler. They would just teleport
Hell
between
yeah.
shadows and smack people with the steel chair.
Holy shit, he's got a steel chair.
Steel chair out of nowhere. Uh,
No,
it
that sounds fire.
it's very fun. I want to run it for Sentius, the homebrew, at some point because I think it's a game built for the way I run games.
That sounds like it. Yeah, very, very freeform.
Um, so that's a contender for something that could become one of my favorites. Sure. I think if I was sat down and forced to run anything for the rest of time, I would probably pick Call of Cthulhu because I could just do whatever I want with that.
Yeah, it's arguably probably more modular than 5e even.
Oh, easily. It's the realm where I don't have to change anything, right? Like I could take it to any setting. I could take it and run a fan campaign of any like thing I enjoy and probably make it work. It's already in my head for like what I would probably use as a baseline for like a Full Metal Alchemist campaign
Oh, I can see that absolutely. Yeah.
because 90% of the setting is just the like guns are there, melee's there, and I can tweak the magic ever so slightly, and it's already basically built to work the way alchemy works in that franchise, right?
Right.
Instead of reading the book to learn the spell, you use the same process of time to make the transmutation circle and do your alchemy. And once you've learned how to do that, you can set up equipment to do that on the fly. You just have to have done it once.
Right. Yeah, I used it for the system or the like homebrew universe I mentioned earlier. I the spellcasting is the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of. Uh, Mostly because it just kind of doesn't work for the like magic tech universe I was wanting to make. But it's like even with that, I was able to with very little issue just turn it into like a regular health casting system.
I mean, as it works right now, it's very similar to that, anyways. It just drains on your sanity instead, so you just gotta ignore that half of things and just drain from your health, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You just remove the extra roll to have the sanity effects. Don't even worry about the sanity meter, and it's just bam. Or remove the extra bar and just have sanity act as an MP bar outright.
Yeah, it's super modular. I also like how they do progression. I think it's one of my favorite progression systems, which I
Well,
guess transitions very
yeah,
nicely
we
into the
can we
next
can
point.
transition to this next one real easy. My buddy Brandon, my dear not wife, asked for months now us to talk about XP leveling up versus or XP progression versus level ups. Uh, and I get the feeling we're going to agree on this pretty easily. I think XP progression is just better, hand over fist.
Uh, I think in general, yes, but I do have kind of mixed feelings on it because undoubtedly, yes, it's better for like long-term stuff because it gives you more like snappy like, oh, I just did this thing and now I'm better. Uh, but I think the a point towards level up that I've agree with pretty heartily is that it gives you it makes getting new things a lot more impactful
Uh,
because you had to wait for it. You had to like stand around for a little bit. It takes longer, so it's not going to work for everything. But I think it definitely does
I
lend itself better to
think
like
with the way XP progression typically goes, you end up getting the same experience anyways, because you're gonna go through one of two things, right? You're gonna get your experience at the end of your session, and you're gonna spend it immediately, right? Or you know what you want to get, and it's very expensive, so you're not gonna spend it immediately, and you're gonna wait and long-term gratification, waiting to build up enough experience. Because
that's fair.
I'm
I do see that.
because like we played Halo, and I would give you guys experience, and all of you guys pretty uniformly spent it as you got it by next session. And then we got to the late game, and you guys were like, "Fuck, wait, that was cool shit I want. I can't get it."
Yeah. I think another point kind of in favor of leveling. This one I guess can be mitigated depending on how you run games, but it's a lot easier to balance for like as a DM. It's easier to balance for a leveled system because you know you don't have the issue of like, oh well, I mean, I don't know what level they are, but damn, they sure do have the ability to like once a day do this and this and this. Whereas with a leveled system, it's like, no, they're level 4. I can throw this at them.
Um, yeah, but I think that same idea is also part of like level of systems put everything into a pretty neat box, and I think that box kind of like the whole 5e thing I was talking about, where it's like those boxes are kind of what holds a lot back, because you know fit things neatly in your level very similar. You know, you're gonna have very similar builds because they're gonna be truncated by level instead of the free form. Like I have experience, I want this thing, I'm getting that thing.
Yeah,
So it turns it into like it kind of removes the modularity a little bit. You know, I like the XP because I can just have a goal in mind. Like I'm gonna make this character like this, and these are the things I have to get. So I have to use what we do and get rewarded for our own skill and intelligence and you know thinking outside the box by building this character the way I want, figuring out how to be smart enough to get the experience I want to make the character I want to make, as opposed to like even Pathfinder Second Edition, where it just turned into like every couple sessions, someone Star or Hunter or Brandon would be like, "Hey, can we level up?" And it's like, "Well, no, because you haven't done enough yet." Or I could have just handed you experience at the end of every fucking session, and you could have just done it on your own time, and not have to harass me about it.
right. Yeah. Though there is an argument to be made that that's kind of like a core experience for tabletop games.
I think that's why I compared it to 5e, because I think it's a very foundational experience, but you need to grow past it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want your RPG to be stuck on the level up system, like it's a fucking like Final Fantasy game forever, you're gonna find yourself put into a box where your levels are always the same, and the things you do are always gonna be in like one of three paths, and it's gonna be limited. Even things like Pathfinder, where there's a lot of options, you're still knowing like, okay, at this level I'm getting this feat, I'm gonna get a feat or an ASI or whatever, kind of where it goes. as opposed to if you played Halo. When I finally run my homebrew Call of Cthulhu, when Brandon runs Vampire, or I run Hunter the Reckoning, or pick a game, right? It doesn't matter. Point being,
Right.
anything where I dish out experience, the build is then more heavily on you, but also that means it's more flexible to be what you want it to be. You aren't locked to the archetype of whatever class, quote unquote, you'd have picked. It would have just been like Star in Halo was able to build his fucking sniper to snipe across a planet. Just
Yeah,
ba-
no,
just
did he have like 100-something-kilometer
it was
range?
insane. I don't remember. I could ask him right now. Is he online?
I bet he knows. Yeah, hang on.
Star. What was the max range for Crane again?
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting on that, I just want to clarify. I'm mostly playing devil's advocate here. I do just vastly prefer like experience
Oh
leveling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I think my main issue with like leveling is that like when I play 5e, right? I always feel bad when, I'm leveling up or I'm leveling up my players, and then there's that one guy who's like, "Damn, I'm a fighter. I get nothing this level."
That's the other thing, right? Because like that was why I made that joke about Rangers earlier, right? Because it's like Rangers and fighters are going to spend 90% of the time getting nothing of consequence, and then you watch like any pure caster getting cool shit at nearly every level because that's how casters work, and you're just like, boy, am I sure glad I can attack twice in a turn.
Yep. Man, you can just say no to spells now, huh? That's pretty cool.
I can give
Man,
myself a D12 of HP once a day. Isn't that
yep.
cool? I do get action surge this level. That's gonna be the biggest thing I get for the next 4 levels. I can redo my turn once a day, or was it once a short rest?
I think it's once a short rest. It
Once
depends on the version, but
once a short rest, I can do my turn again, where I swing my sword 3 times and then end my turn.
yep.
Boy, I can do a lot of damage, but it's boring as fuck. So I'm gonna do the same thing. All right, I hit. Here's the collective damage. Action surge. I do it again, and then we all go cry. But
Yep. Or
that's
or the time-honored classic of I swing 20 times and hit.
nothing. That's the other reason I like the XP leveling up because like Brandon played the equivalent of like a fighter for Halo. His character, she swung that big fucking hammer, and she was just clobbering the Covenant with a big fuck off sledgehammer, and it was sick as fuck.
It was, yeah.
And it was functional because every time he spent experience, it was just in the the aid of making that hammer hit like a fucking brick.
And she
His
sure did use that like twice.
Yeah, which is crazy because she just rolled around trying to use a shotgun the entire time and missed. And I was like, I don't know, man. Maybe you should swing your hammer. But he ended that game with a warfare melee of like 130 or something like that.
Christ.
It's nuts, and that's the benefit of like the XP stuff is it. Yeah, it's why like whenever we're telling crazy stories of things I've done in my other campaigns as a player, all the really crazy shit is from like XP systems because I just get XP and I crank it to do the weirdest shit possible, and then I make these weird little highly specialized monstrosities that get me out of situations by doing my weird little things.
Yeah. Also, because I got tired of waiting, I looked up back in the chat logs, and apparently Crane could reliably hit things out to about 10 miles and could stretch it farther.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. I don't even know how rule accurate that even was, but whatever.
I mean, for a Spartan, it's not out of the question.
But yeah, no, it's I can't see the only arguments I can see towards like level up systems are just for people who don't want to engage with anything on a deeper level, and I just feel like that's fine. But maybe you could just go like just like cut the game part and just go like role play or something.
Yeah, I think so personally I find that so 5e and leveling systems, they're really good for like baby's first campaign. because they're a very easy way to like introduce people to a thing. Don't have to constantly worry about getting new things, and it gets them like, oh, okay, this is how things work, and then it gives them a baseline that you can then transfer into like, oh, yeah, let's play the Halo system, where it's like, oh, I don't have levels. Here's a bunch of points. Figure it out.
Yeah, I see the thing happen all the time where it's like, oh, we're gonna play 5e. I'm learning how to play 5e. 5e is awesome. I'm having so much fun. It's all laid out for me very clearly. I'm never gonna. I'm going to. I expect the game to lay it all out for me and everything. And if anything wants me to have more free form thought behind what my character is and build it more complexly, I don't want anything to do with it. And that's on one hand, I kind of get it. On the other hand, I think that's kind of sad because it's like there's so many cool things you can do in a system where you can build freely, and it's a shame that there's this kind of just general apathy towards like effort.
That's kind of the case for a lot of things, I think.
Yeah, and I'm just channeling it into the thing that I care about.
Yeah,
It's just a
but no,
shame that like is that basically this generation is at a point where it's like it's just too much effort to put effort into your hobbies, and if the game doesn't lay it out clearly for you, it's just not worth it. And I just find that kind of a bummer.
yeah. I'm at a weird point where like I like the simplicity of 5e. It makes it very easy for me to just focus on as a DM because I'm running a 5e game right now. It makes it very easy for me to just focus on the world. Um, but then at the same time, it's like, man, I don't know how to make this interesting in the actual gameplay. Like I can get it to be interesting when we're doing roleplay because that has very little to do with the very little to do with the actual system. But as soon as it gets into like any kind of combat or like skill, like contested skill checks or whatever, is like, man, I sure do have to do so much more extra lifting to make this interesting.
Yeah,
I think one credit I will give it is the Destiny system that was made for 5e or like using 5e is super well done. Mostly because it kind of encourages you to have fun mechanics for your encounters that make you forget you're playing 5e.
that Mass Effect system is pretty good at least taking the level system and expanding it, so there's more things going on. Um,
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
that's the one thing. That conversion, the reason I'm so okay with playing that, besides the it's basically all we have to play for
Yeah.
Mass Effect, is they at least expanded the options to the point where there's not just one clear cut like this is the answer. Like that's not the case in that conversion, and they had the benefit of there being so many options in the Mass Effect universe that they could do that. But like I made just a Krogan with a shotgun and shit stopped everybody. But I've seen Hunter, I saw I don't know if he's even in the server still, but his name's Cade. Uh, and then like
Yes, I do remember him. Yeah. The
eh,
Elcor.
yep, M, Jay, who you didn't meet either. All made like drastically different stuff, and it was all pretty effective. So it mitigates one of my two big problems with 5e. The combat still fucking drags, but whatever.
Yeah, the one thing that I did like a lot about, or do like, we're gonna be playing it again here pretty soon, but the thing I like about that system is that even in the classes, there is so much disparity. Like, there's the engineers. The campaign you ran, I was playing an engineer who was a medic, right?
Yep.
And then Hunter was playing an engineer who was basically Iron Man. And they're both the same class, same like basic set of abilities, but it let you customize it way more. I think it's kind of fixes the issue that you were talking about, like you said, where it's like there is other options than just I cast Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, that conversion is very good at doing its best with 5e, for sure.
Yeah.
And
There
it
there
is
are issues, like you said, the combat is
still just inherently kind of
dragging,
drags,
but
but especially at the early levels where you still basically only have like two abilities.
yeah, yeah. We kind of got around that by having that one character who just busted through every combat.
Yeah, I did that with my character where I would just stomp on people's heads and end combats in like 5 turns or less.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting. The Mass Effect campaign that Brandon's gonna run, I assume next, unless he changes his mind. Um, where there's gonna be like twice as many of us. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. I haven't even made a character for that yet. I mean, I'll be running Marvel for the next millennia, so whatever.
Yeah, that'll be a minute. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Like I mentioned, I think in the first episode, Mass Effect is my favorite game and universe ever. Uh, so I am very excited for that. One of the reasons that I'm so excited for the one shot we're going to be running here, I think next week.
It's true. I won't be there.
No, it'll be sad.
No,
We'll
the first weekend with no Dustin. What the fuck?
we'll commit war crimes in your name. Don't worry.
Please do. I would say tell me about it, but don't. Do not
Well, you
contact
know,
me.
I would tell you about my character here, but I'm sure the other people are gonna be listening to this, so I don't want to spoil them on it.
I did have you guys DM me one thing about him, so I do that one little thing because you guys were discussing like what the line is as far as like people's personal limits, right? So I
Yeah.
had both of you tell me like what the thing is, and I'm not gonna say it, but I was like, oh, that's low tier, dude. Whatever.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to make sure it was okay with everyone.
Nah.
Yeah. No, it'll be fun. I've playing villain campaigns has been something, or I guess one shots in this case, has been something that like I've always been interested in, but never actually done. So this will be fun.
I find them really hard to run because I have a hard time setting up stakes for villains. I think like setting up stakes for villains who are players. Like obviously my NPC villains can have their own like sense of stakes surrounding what they're doing, but that's a lot easier to present because I don't have to present like quandaries about it. I just present to you like what their issue is and why they're a villain, and that's enough. But giving the villains something to sink their teeth into is a lot harder, I think, as when they're
Yeah,
when they're
cause
players.
yeah, cause like aside from vengeance, there's really not a whole lot of motivation you can give villains.
Because if you're playing like a really bad, I can't hold your family against you because you probably don't care if you even have one. And there are some villains who might care, but that's not like a catch-all. Like when you're playing a hero, I could present like people you care about, or innocent people, or any number of things, and that'll give you something to latch onto. And as a villain, it's like, well, you're gonna have one centralized goal that you've already picked, and I can't present something against that as easily.
Yeah, yeah. It's it villain like characters are definitely I have seen them played well as a like a villain character in a good campaign.
That's different, and that's easier to work around. I'm doing that with not quite one for one, but like Gabi right now is kind of the equivalent to that.
Right, yeah. I've also seen it I mean obviously it works well for one shots because that's like you don't need an overarching
Yeah,
goal for them for
and,
that.
and if that villain character ends up having to die, then oh well, right? Like it's a one shot.
Right, yeah.
You kind of know what you're signing up for.
Yeah. Yeah. The character so I have played one villain character in a like a good campaign, and it was a lot of fun because they were there because they had a mutual like everybody wanted this one guy dead. And my character's like, hey, I know I'm evil and I'm literally working for like an extra dimensional mega corporation, but like, hey, I can help you kill that guy. And it was really funny because she ended up marrying the god of honorable combat.
As you
And
do.
they were a surprisingly wholesome couple, given that one of them was lawful good and the other was chaotic evil.
But I also just have a harder time getting invested in villain campaigns as like a DM because it's like I don't really care about these people. It's like
Yeah, that's so fair.
I don't know. It's the same. reason why like my first playthrough of a game, because like when I'm playing an RPG like a Mass Effect or something like that where there's like a moral choice system, my first playthrough is usually like the I'm just gonna make choices I feel like I would make, like as a person.
Right, right.
And I'm not a monster, so a lot of the I make lean on the side of good, because it's like if I can help somebody, I'm gonna make that choice because I, I guess I don't know for sure, but I like to think when the chips are down, I'm gonna do the thing I'd consider right.
Yeah, yeah.
And but there are occasional exceptions, like from Frame One and Mass Effect Two, I punched that motherfucker out the window. His
Well,
ass is gone.
sometimes it's just funny. Like that's acceptable.
But like 9 times out of 10, I think optimistically about myself that I would do the thing I consider right. So I end up my like do what I would normally do playthrough is usually like mostly good with like a little bit of bad in places where in my head the justification is if I do this bad thing it'll be better in the long run.
Right.
So I only ever do villain playthroughs in like a replay where I'm like getting achievements or just seeing what's different or whatever, and then it's my brain switched off and I don't have to be invested anymore.
Yeah, so I recently finished my like Evil Dark Urge run for Baldur's Gate 3, and I had to just turn my brain off because if I didn't, I would feel so guilty about everything that was going on.
Yeah, I haven't finished that run yet, so I don't know everything that happens. But I've been doing a Dark Urge playthrough in my. I haven't played it in a while because I'm playing other stuff. But I think I talked about it forever ago. The first time we did this, I was starting that,
Uh,
and in my brain I was like, I'm gonna lean into this, and then I started playing it, and I just didn't lean into it very much.
yeah,
I
no,
I
it's like
leaned into I leaned into the, like the conflicted part of it, but not the like be an evil bastard part of it.
I think it was especially difficult for me because it was coming off the back of doing a good aligned Dark Urge run, and so the one that me and my friends have kind of come up with a name for the kind of run that I did. It's a no gods no kings run. Basically, you play a Dark Urge, but you don't align yourself with Ball. You're like, no, I'm evil because I want to be evil, not because Big Daddy Ball said I had to be evil.
Big Daddy Balls, crazy.
But yeah, no, playing evil playthroughs, it's really hard to get invested because I feel really bad
Yeah,
when I hurt
I
human.
basically get guilty. The bunch of pixels and coding makes my heart hurt, and I don't want to do it.
True.
It's
Like
like
I think in all of my time playing Mass Effect, I made exactly 3 renegade choices because I just felt so bad doing them every time.
I made more renegade choices than I usually do in other games because most of those are justifiable in my head. Not all of them, but like a lot of those are
Not all.
justifiable. But like even then, I only did one playthrough where I made every renegade choice and like picked the worst ending possible, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. I need a drink. What the fuck?
For real, yeah. I think the ones that I made in my first playthrough of Mass Effect, I sacrificed the big ship to save the Citadel because my thinking was like, we're gonna have to lose that one, and then we can save everybody on the Citadel. And it was like, actually, humans are supremacists now, and I was like, well, fuck. Now I have to go back and replay it. Uh, I think the only like that I can recall off the top of my head, the only renegade choice that I like stuck with was shooting Odina, because fuck that
Oh
guy.
yeah, I always shoot Udina. I know um, like I always zap the guy in Mass Effect 2 because he's working on that gunship and fuck him, basically.
Right.
Um, I like I said, I always punch that guy out the window. Um, a lot of the renegade choices I justify are the ones where the person I'm doing a renegade thing against have done something to somebody else already.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just like even in my head. The ones that I don't usually do are the ones where it's renegade where you're putting somebody who didn't deserve it in harm's way for some reason.
Yeah, that or so the ones that I do, like you're saying, the ones where they kind of deserve it, or it's really funny.
There's also the ones where it's
Uh,
really funny. Yeah.
the ones that are really funny, I think, are always justified.
Uh,
I had it as my Discord profile for ages, but one of my favorite quotes from that game is from a Renegade Shepherd line. Was your grasp of the obvious is
no,
inspiring.
yeah, yep, that's a good one. Anytime you talk to the council, any like bad boy choices are correct. Fuck the council.
True. Fuck the council.
When you're talking to anybody in the alliance whose name aren't Anderson or Hackett, fuck them.
Fuck him.
Bar none. Um,
Well, Admiral Kahoku is not terrible, but like
pour one out.
far and away most of the time, yes.
They get the three. That's it. Um, and that's when I say that about the alliance, I'm mostly talking about like the brass, like the individual soldiers. I don't usually shit talk because they're just dudes.
They're just guys.
They're
They're
just
just trying to do
guys.
their
They're
job.
just getting a paycheck. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. But like when I think about how like games where I have a hard time being evil, KOTOR is really hard for me to do an evil run in. Because most of it is you being racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of those things in my head where I'm just like, no, no. I'll be evil, but I won't be an evil racist. Which is a lot of the reason that Mass Effect 1's Renegade route is so fucking hard for me to do too. Because a lot of that is Shepard just
Yeah.
being racist.
A lot of it is just racism. Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, hold on. Like I didn't sign up for any of that now. Mass Effect 2 and 3 are better about that because they really hone in on the message of togetherness, and so it makes less sense for Shepard to be racist.
Yeah, the later games. It's a lot less Shepard just being a human supremacist, and it's a lot more Shepard being like, "Man, fuck you guys.
It's
I'm gonna do my own thing."
2 and 3 hone in on like Renegade being Shepard getting the job done no matter what, and that's where I make a lot more Renegade choices because I can justify that in my head a lot easier than like I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he's not throwing around the split jaws.
I'm gonna call fucking Garrus a racial slur. What? What?
Huh?
Hold on. You what? You can't. No,
You can't just say that, Shepard.
you can't say that. That's also why I let Ashley die. I don't care if she gets better. Fuck you.
No, and plus, it's dude, probably one of the things that made me laugh the hardest my first time through that series is when you first meet back up with Ashley on I fucking remember what planet it was, but in Mass Effect 2, right?
Horizon. I think.
Horizon, that's the one. She spends like a good like paragraph of dialogue gassing you up, like you're in the presence of a living
God.
god. And then she immediately turns around and is like, "You stupid motherfucker!
Who
How
the
could you?"
fuck do you think you are? No, that shit's crazy.
That's
Uh,
such
I,
insane.
I find it crazy that people were like, yeah, but Caden's boring, and I'm like, I don't care. He's
Aiden's a homie.
he's ride or die, and he's not racist. He can be as boring as he wants to.
Exactly. Like my brother's got a life. I'm not gonna pull that against him.
Oh man, he's got more shit going on. Ooh, like I'm cool with a homie whose worst problem is he's getting migraines. Like, all right, man, you know what? You're the normal one here. That's my guy. I'm gonna gas him up.
Yeah. No, he's one of the things that always saddens me is that there was, if I'm recalling correctly, there was cut content where there was supposed to be a romance subplot between him and Samara.
That would have been fire.
That would have been fantastic.
Um,
Uh,
but fuck, what was I gonna say?
this conversation has drifted so far. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I was gonna say more about Mass Effect. I don't even care what the fuck we're actually talking about. Just
No,
this.
Mass Effect is my shit, man. I love
Um.
that series.
Oh yeah. I can't stand poor Caden getting the boring guy label when Jacob Taylor is right there.
True. Oh my goodness, dude.
Caden's infinitely more interesting when you compare him to a piece of cardboard.
True. It's well, I want to like Jacob so much, but they try way too
I,
hard to make him likable.
I don't even hate him. He's just there. And like
Yeah,
at least like Caden's got a pretty typical like boring issue. He's got migraines from his implant and he's got some trepidation about that. At least it's tied to the lore. Jacob's just got daddy issues most of us have.
yeah, and like,
Like there's no difference
they,
between his daddy issues and someone whose dad's like a trucker or in the military. He just doesn't see him.
yeah, and like he's put forward as this like oh, one of the top dogs, right? It's like I mean I guess, but like
What,
really, Cerberus?
what does he even do around here? They say he's like the quartermaster, but all he does is stand in that armory and jerk off. What is he doing here?
True.
You
Like, get a
don't
job,
do
man.
shit. What am I paying you for, motherfucker?
Are you paying him?
Do I give you money, Jacob, or are you just here? Are you freeloading? I don't even know what your fucking skill set is. What do? You just shoot people? You have biotics? I don't remember what you do. Who are you?
I genuinely couldn't tell you,
I
and that's
don't
very
I
telling
I
because
don't
I've played that
remember.
game like 8 times.
I played that game 100 times. I don't know what that motherfucker does. You got to use him in the tutorial, so all I know is he has pull.
Yep.
That's all I can tell you that he does. He has pull, and I think incendiary ammo.
I couldn't tell you. That man is an enigma of extreme not worth it.
And then if you romance him, he dips.
Yeah, he cheats.
What a bitch! I'm not dead. I'm in prison. Give me a phone call or something, you motherfucker.
uh,
You
I
sick son of a bitch, Jacob Taylor.
Jacob Taylor, you motherfucker. Wish you were a better character, because you could have been way cooler, but you weren't.
You are like the one character related writing misstep in that game to me. Everyone else in that crew, I'm ride or die with. Even Miranda, who I also don't really care for that much. But damn it, at least she's got interesting shit going on.
You can land a fucking spaceship on that forehead, though. Jesus.
Big ass forehead. Like, I don't really care for either of the two Cerberus people on that ship. But like Miranda, she got the stuck up bitch thing going on. But at least that's on purpose.
Yeah, and she's got an interesting character stuff.
And
Like,
then her backstory's cool, and her personal quests are cool, and they follow it up in a cool way in 3. And then Jacob is just kind of, you could have replaced
there.
him with anybody else in that particular side mission, and the story would have stayed the same. Just another guy, another ex Cerberus guy protecting people from Cerberus. It didn't actually have to be Jacob.
No, it could have been literally anyone else. It's like, I mean, the obvious ones, like Garrus and Tally. Like, those are the homies. They're there the whole time.
Those are my ride or die, dude.
For real, love those guys.
Rex counts in my head too, because even though he's not a party member in all 3, he's got your back no matter what.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, Rex is a homie. I could never. I completely by accident saved him in my first playthrough, and then every playthrough after that, I was like, okay, I need to max out persuasion because I can't kill my homie.
Rex gotta live, dude. That's Mike Rogan right there.
I think the only time I can ever like even kind of justify going with the fucking like keeping the sterilization thing going is if Rex isn't leading them.
If it's Reeve, fuck him. Fuck these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
My like Mass Effect ride or dies are probably like Garrus, Tally, Rex. I like Grunt.
Dude, Grunt's a homie. Love that guy.
Morden. Uh,
R.I.P.
pour one out. Thane, pour one out.
Yep.
I think those are the 6 where I'm like, those are my guys. And Joker, if you want to count like anybody. I gotta have my pilot. That's my pilot right there. No one else can
That's
have
my
him.
pilot.
Uh,
No, Joker. I love Joker. He always like in my mind he kind of gets relegated sometimes to like a side character, but no, he's just kind of there. Like he's with you the whole time.
he is the only reason he isn't with you from the bat in Mass Effect 2 is because he thinks you're dead.
Yeah,
And the
which is
second
so which you were.
someone rolls up to him and says, "Hey, you gonna go work for Shepard?" He's like, "I'm
My
in.
homie, he's
I'm
back. I'm
in.
in.
I'm in right now." Alliance never heard of him. uh, maybe bar none the best Seth Green performance in anything ever. His actor,
I
he was
haven't looked into the actor past the game. I'll be honest.
I'm positive you've seen him in something else somewhere.
Probably. I just might probably didn't recognize him.
Did you watch the live action Scooby Doo movie, the second one?
Probably.
Yeah, he's Velma's love interest in that movie.
That's funny.
He's mostly like in comedies and stuff. So this one stands out to me as like, I don't know why he's here, but he's killing it.
He's doing a fantastic job. Pop off, Greg.
He's one of the creators of Robot Chicken. If you ever watched that,
Oh, for real?
yeah, he does like 90% of the voices in that show too.
Huh.
Have you seen
Never
Austin?
knew
Have you
that.
seen Austin Powers?
I have.
That's Doctor Evil's son, Scotty.
No shit.
No shit.
Huh. I never knew that. That's
You
hilarious.
you wouldn't think he could come to Mass Effect with a performance like that, but there he is.
Yeah, that he popped off.
It's like the same kind of character he plays, but they play it more straight, and I'm here for it. Those are like my 7 ride or dies. I think like anyone else is welcome on the ship pretty much, but those are my people.
Those are my goats. Yeah, I don't know. I feel I'm torn. I can't remember the fucker's name. The guy who gets added in Mass Effect 3,
The human
the human. Yeah,
Vega.
Vega. That's the one. I'm torn on Vega because like I like that they made him like you can kind of be like have him as your protege as Shepard. Like that's cool. I'm down with that. But at the same time, it's like man, they could have done so much more with Vega.
There's a lot of potential there. I like what they did do. I just wish they had made him more interesting. Then he's your generic soldier character. Here you go. Because that gives me
Yeah,
almost no motivation to use him in combat. But his character stuff's pretty good. I like the scene where you fist fight him, like spar with him,
yeah. That's really
and
good.
in the Citadel DLC where you can swamp his fucking pull up record.
Yeah, I remember setting up an auto clicker for that because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna set up an auto clicker and I'm gonna go eat food.
I did that shit manually
I
twice.
respect it. I could never.
Um, yeah,
Dude,
massive.
Citadel DLC is so good.
That is
It's
probably maybe my favorite thing in that entire franchise, which is crazy because it's not as good as anything gameplay wise, but the storyline, just the closure is so much better than anything else in that franchise that I'll take it.
yeah, I've talked about it with you before, I think. I ever since so I played it through twice unmodded, and ever since then I've played it through modded. One of the ones I play with is I forget the fucking mod name, but it's a happy ending mod. Uh,
Yeah, yep,
and one of the things it does is it makes it so that you don't have access to the Citadel DLC until after you finish the game, so it's like an epilogue, and
yeah.
it works really well as an epilogue.
I always play the Citadel right before the push to Earth because in my head it's like I don't have the happy ending mod, so they hang out in the Citadel right. It's like their last hurrah before they go and
Yeah,
fight,
do the last fight.
and it works really well in that context as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel bad for people who
Uh,
play it at any point before, like there's like a certain point where it's like, okay, you can play this DLC now, and it's probably okay. And anyone who plays it too early, I'm just like, sorry, man.
yeah, you're kind of messing up your whole thing here.
I should get you to send me some of the mods you play. I should do a modded playthrough. I've never done it.
It's I will warn you right now, it's a bit of setup, and you have to be very careful because it advises you, hey, you should back up your game before you do this, or it might fuck up your files, which, good call. But also, what they don't tell you is that that actually downloads the whole game twice.
Nice.
So, be careful with that.
I'm not worried about it anyways. I've been modding games since you were in diapers.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot else to talk about.
We did have one thing that we didn't really touch on that M did ask us to maybe touch on, which
Sure, what's
is
up?
rules heavy versus rules light for tabletop stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of touched on it, but
A
yeah.
little bit more in depth, which is gonna fit in line with everything else I've said. Anyways, I'm gonna go rules light every time because
Pretty much, yeah.
make that my call. I don't want the book to tell me what to do.
I feel like at a certain point, if like rules heavy is fine if it works for you, but at a certain point, you're just playing a choose your own adventure. Like it's not even D&D anymore.
There's a fine line because, like I said, if you don't want rules at all, then just get your friends together and just like role play. Like that's fine. That's a perfectly normal thing to do. Like if it's all you want out of this thing, then just do that.
Right? Yeah.
Like you don't need this set of you don't need this gameplay. It's not mandatory for the experience you want. But if you give me too many rules, then it restricts me what I can. Which is why I like rule sets like Marvel, where there is a clear line of like guidance. But at the end of the day, we kind of just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
We ignore whatever rules we want to ignore.
Yeah. Rule of cool is an established thing.
That is like my number one rule.
Yeah,
There's been multiple occasions where you specifically were like, "Can I do this thing even though it's not normal?" And I'm like, "I don't. Yeah, fuck it. It sounds sick."
yeah,
Half the fights that ended because Karu did something purely on rule of cool.
yeah, true. Like that fucking that one cleave that killed like half the combat.
Yeah. Or like Brandon rolling up and pipe bombing God. It's like, all right.
That still makes me laugh.
That is such a funny way to end that campaign. You don't just fight a god's avatar. The
Like
avatar
that is
the god
God.
rolls up. The eldritch god from a different dimension rolls up, and Brandon's response is, I'm gonna put a pipe bomb at his feet."
It's like, yeah, hey, shit ass.
Catch this, chuckle nuts.
Yeah, no, that was hysterical. I think rule of cool, even if you're gonna play in a rules heavy, always leave room for rule of cool.
If the fight is, if you're playing, even if playing like a combat heavy, rules heavy game, if the fight is gonna be over within the next 1 or 2 rounds, and someone's like, "Hey, can I do this thing that's a little bit outside the rules?" Saying no is just extending it artificially, anyways. So you might as well let them do something cool they're gonna want to talk about with other people. That's a story they can tell, and that's all I want people to get out of what we're doing is to have enough engagement in this to like take it to somewhere else and tell people the story and recount what happened. Be like, I did this
Yeah,
fucking sick thing on Sunday where I have a 20-foot reach because I drank a potion and I grew 30 feet and I can hit everybody in the combat and I used cleave and the DM let me heal like 6 people at once and it was so fucking cool.
yeah. I think the key thing for me is like always reward creativity.
Yeah, even if you can't reward it in the immediate sense of like, okay, like I do it all the time where I'll hear somebody say something, but they're not like acting on it yet. But just the fact that they thought of it at all is like, all right, here's your inspiration, here's your hero point, here's some karma, whatever the fuck the system has for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Like at least take something and use it. Like if you're gonna have an idea and you're going to at least voice it to me, if you're thinking about what's happening enough to have ideas, I'm giving you props for that. This is yours now.
yeah, yeah. I think the only time when creativity is like a little much is when they're doing more than just like bending the rules. It's like, oh hey, what if we could fly? Like, okay, well that's a cool idea, but we can't. If you can figure out a way to do it,
Yeah,
then we could talk.
you can't
But
just have the idea. You got to have an idea to execute that thing. Like, yeah, well, what if you could fly? That'd be cool. But if you come to me and say, well, I have the skill and I could levitate things. So if I put somebody on it and levitate that thing, and then we fucking hurl them with like catapult, then they're kind of flying. Like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Do that.
yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah.
enough to
In
have an
general,
idea. It's enough to have an execution behind it.
yeah. In general, I am very much a proponent of rules light, but I think
Rules light, but rules have to exist because they are the guideline to do cool stuff outside of the rules.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
You can't do cool stuff if you don't have a baseline that makes it cool. Basically,
Exactly. Yeah. Because if that's the normal, then there's just kind of no point.
if you didn't want rules, you literally could just get your same friends and you could all make characters and just tell a story sans any gameplay whatsoever. And that's something people have been doing online before I was online.
Yeah.
There've been roleplay forums since the mid '90s. Like you can do that. Fine, like I respect that too, but
No, you can just do that. That's allowed. I think my only like kind of hold up when it comes to like being super rules light is that it can be difficult to run as a DM sometimes. Um, because it's like, man, I don't have a good answer for you. And I mean, again, it's a minor issue. You just fucking think about it,
yeah,
but
over
it's
the
more than
answer.
you'd have to do otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, it does. You're gonna get curveballs eventually, but half the fun is me, engaging with those curveballs. So like, if I have rules that tell me every situation, and if a situation doesn't fit in those rules and I don't allow it, then I'm not getting what I want out of this either. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure rules heavy is great for the people who are 100% gameplay focused, but that is never what I want. Uh, we're lucky to have 4 or 5 combat in my campaigns in a couple months.
Yeah.
Because one, we spend half our time role playing to the point where our sessions are over before combat starts, and two, I prefer to make my combats more impactful, so I don't have too many of them.
Right. Yeah.
And then sometimes I make a robot scorpion, you guys swamp it in 3 turns, and I kill myself. But whatever.
Yeah, that did happen.
but but then we get the sickest moment of that entire campaign where I remind you that apathy is not ignorance, and I rock your shit in a boss fight for 40 minutes.
True.
I don't care. That doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then there's also those times where like you do make the combat, and then we talk no jutsu our way out of it.
There are so many combats in the Sentius game where there could have been combat, but you just navigate around it somehow. And
Just
I
somehow.
and I always note, I'm like, yeah, that would have been a fight, but you guys just kind of like didn't do it. And then someone will be like, "Oh man, I wish there was combat." And I was like, "Well, you know what?
Well, maybe.
There could have been, there could have been." Marvel has been fun because every time you guys have come into combat, I've almost without question managed to rock somebody's shit.
Yeah, pretty much every time. I
It's
think the
crazy.
only combat that, like, aside from the initial one, I believe Butler's like my character Butler is a speedster for context. He's literally run away from every combat, hasn't he?
You were, yeah, because you ran out of the one when they assaulted the tower too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, almost every combat, even that first one, your job was more like mitigating other people than it was actually fighting.
Yep.
Every combat so far has just been basically Colossus showing up and rocking Silas's shit and then leaving. Except that one time where Silas threw him off a fucking roof and then crashed him into the street. Or Prowler showing up and rocking Spider-Man shit.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of got like, well, okay, most characters kind of have their person who rocks their shit.
To be fair, your shit's been rocked in like a telepathy sense, so
Yeah,
I've
Jean Grey
mitigated you in
fucked me up.
combat by having Jean Grey just fuck your shit up.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where, like, admittedly, I, as like the player, have to dial back so fucking hard because speedsters are so broken, man.
Oh, I've started both times where she rocked your shit by her doing it before combat had formally started, but I can still make the roll.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
great thing about
But like
telepaths. Your ass is just grass, frame one.
frame one, yeah. But like, man, speedsters, like, if I wanted to be a scumbag, it's like, oh yeah, I hit them, and now I'm like 400 miles away. Bye. But no, that's not fun.
Technically true, but also technically by the rules, even as a speedster, your movement is still your movement, so you can't move up to them and then leave
That's true. That's true.
unless you have some ability to let you move twice, and then I'm just fucked. I guess I don't actually know what you got at your sheet.
I'd have to check again. I've kind of specifically not looked at that because I didn't want to run the risk of doing it.
But
But
to be honest, I would also probably just circumvent that at a certain point. Be like, no, you're gonna get hit. Sorry. Like I'm making an attack, and you're not getting a choice.
dodge this fucker.
Dodge this, chuckle
Yeah.
nuts.
Think fast, chuckle nuts.
Well, I think that's pretty good. About 2 hours.
About that, I think so.
All right. Well, 100% hit rate. Haven't missed any of these recordings. There's one for every month since we started. Trust.
Exactly.
See you in September.
Yeah.